Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio, and today I am working on a project with all my napkins. I have a ton of napkins. If anybody wants to do like a little napkin exchange, hey, I'm up for it. Because I have a lot of different ones that I have the whole package, of napkins. So, anyway, I saw a project from Shemmy Dixon, and she created some fun envelopes, and I believe she did napkins. Now, it's been a while. I will try and find her video and link it below, but it's been months. Just so you know, these were done way before Acrylic April. So this was either filmed in February or March. So I'm trying to remember what all I did. So here's a tip for you. If you have a hard time getting the napkin apart, if you just take a little bit of tape and put it in a corner where you're not worried about losing it, they just come right apart. Look at that. Slick. Anyway, as long as you're not worried about losing that little corner. So, there we go. Alright. So anyway, I think she did napkins. She glued them onto paper and then turned those into envelopes. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm actually just, right here, I'm just getting rid of, I'm trying to make whole pattern spots and not cut off pieces, if that makes sense. So I'm just cutting it using water and then pulling it apart. And I think I only show making one, like I said, I can't remember, because I did this a long time ago. And I didn't want to take time to go through looking at all the footage before I just started recording the voiceover. So, anyway. I used dictionary paper, which is super thin, but I figured the layer using matte medium or decoupage, I'm not sure which one I use, and the napkin and the dictionary paper would make it thick enough that it would be okay. And it is. It actually, the paper, after it's done, has a really interesting texture because the dictionary paper is super thin. So anyway, I'm just getting it to where it will fit on my paper. Which is funny because I end up cutting the dictionary paper down, I believe, to get it to make the envelope. I'm trying to remember now. Guess we'll find out together, won't we? Alright, so okay. I have some Martha Stewart's matte medium, and that's what we're going to use to glue the napkin down. You can see how thin that dictionary page is, super thin. The Martha Stewart's matte medium, I really like it, but I found it on clearance, so I don't know that they make it anymore, and as you can see, this bottle is just about gone. And after this project, how many of these did I do? More than 10. Can't remember. I think I did one for every pattern of napkin I had. And I don't know if I would call this a build your stash. I guess we're building envelopes. Or use your stash, because I'm using all my napkins. Alright. So once that is glued down, and it's a little wrinkly, but it's not too bad. We let it dry all the way. And I actually end up drying them. Once they're thoroughly dry, see how they're curled? I took them, put them face down, spritzed just a tiny bit of water on there, and I'm using deli paper in between each one to make sure they don't like stick to each other, and pressing them all. So I do deli paper, paper, spritz, deli paper, paper, spritz, and get them all stacked up. And you probably don't need to see every layer. so I don't think I show you every layer. I think I cut it out here soon. Yep. I'm even using my yucky painty ones. Okay. And then I put a board. I have an MDF board and my dictionary. So this is the next day. I don't think I have the light on in my room. See how nice, there we go. See how nice and flat, super flat they got? That's what you want. You can see all my different patterns. I guess this is kind of the, see all my all my papers. Some I covered completely, some the napkins were smaller, so they just get a little square on there. Shouldn't have used that one because that had paint on it, and that was, you know, stuck pretty good on both sides. It has paint. Alright. Oh my gosh. See, I told you I did a ton. In fact, when I was making the envelopes afterwards, I got tired of it. Okay, setting that one aside, we're going to have to help that one. It was way too stuck. Alright, so here is our stack. And there's a few more that were there. So here is the making of the envelope. So I wanted to straighten up my edge first because I had just cut that out freehand out of the dictionary. So I wanted to just straighten my line up. So there, now it's so I think I'm aiming for a 6-inch square. My editing, I can't see where that is. I don't know if you can see that. Was that 6 or 6.5 inches? I was just trying to make it square. Alright. So to make the envelopes so that they would fit my index cards, I am just lining them up. I'm not measuring, I am just lining them up. And so now I'm gonna glue this first corner down just so that because it's extra out of the way. That'll help reinforce the paper anyway, right? Because this is super thin paper. Then we're gonna fold that up, and then we're gonna take in these corners, and I'm just making sure that they're lining up, like the bottom edge. Oh, and I decided I wanted it rounded on the corner. I'm going to round off the corners. I think some I round and some I don't. Now here I'm gluing, and I make sure, because there's a spot right there, you see, where it would, you don't want it to glue to the index card or have it glued to the other side of the envelope. So I'm just lining it up to about the height of the, and making sure there was nothing there. I was feeling it to make sure I didn't do anything. So that still goes in and out. It's a little sticky there. I think the next ones I make sure there's a little bit more wiggle room. And then we fold it over, and there is our first envelope. So did that make sense? Okay, we're going to do another one just so that in case I did a bad job. of showing you how to do this. And like I said, I will search for Shemmy's video because she's much better at explaining it. So this time I'm folding it to make sure it's square. The only problem when you do this is you end up with a crease in the center of your card. But that is how I am getting that straight line. And this time we're just going to cut it with some scissors. There we go. So now I have my square. And I'm just going to try and put that in there straight. And fold this over. And I just fold that corner down so that it's not hanging out. And again, gluing that down with a glue stick. Flipping it over. And there we go. So here I'm folding it, I'm lining up that bottom corner. I'm making sure there's a little bit of a gap so it has some wiggle room. This time I decided to do that little teeny corner spot. Not sure if it makes it better or not better. There we go. Glue that down. Oh, see, this time I didn't round the corners. Making sure my card will come in and out. And there we go, and fold that over. And I got a little crookedness going on there. There we go. Okay, and there's our next envelope. Do you want to see one more? I have this Paris one, and I knew that when I did them, I would be putting the index card in there at an angle. So that's why I glued the napkin down at that angle, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright. So now we've got our square. This time I'm rounding the corners first. And it's hard to tell, but I did think about the, look at that. The Eiffel Tower is completely gone. Not much you can do about it. More gluing. Alright, so I'm going to fold it up, and then we're going to fold the sides, and fold the other side. And you can really, I mean, depending on what paper you have, you can make these any size you want. I just had a bunch of index cards this size, so that is why. See, there we go, we glued that spot first. So that's why I did them the size of these index cards, because I thought I could decorate the index cards or do something with them and, you know, give them away or sell them or do something with them. A little torn piece there, it's okay. That might have got a little bit of glue on it. Fold it down, and there's the other side. Okay, so here are all of my envelopes that I've made. Yeah, you can see. Oh, and I stamped a few. I decided after I was done with that to show you these are all my scraps. They all have pieces of napkin glued to them. What should I do with that? If you have any ideas of what to do with those scraps, let me know. There you can see one of the index cards with a sticker attached. I hope you liked that video. I hope you find it helpful. Don't forget, Shemmy's link will be in the description box below. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, share, and if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.